And good morning, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Saturday morning, Saturday the 2nd of May. How was your May Day? Did you have a fantastic day yesterday? Did you have the day off? I know that I know that 1st of May is a holiday, but would there been a Friday in the UK where did people get the day off? Or was it, were you working as normal? I know here, everything completely shuts down. Absolutely everything. Friday in the UK, which is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, Celtic had done it. They did it. They released the season ticket renewals. And speaking of my brother last night, and we're talking about the season ticket renewal prices. Our tickets have went up to £752. £752 for the season tickets. And speaking to our cousin who follows Manchester United, that is cheap. That is his Manchester United ticket. Get this, his Manchester United ticket is cheaper than our Celtic season ticket price renewal of £752. That's unbelievable for Scottish football. It's only Scottish football, and we're charging crazy amount of money for a season ticket. And yeah, it'll get renewed, but it was absolutely bonkers that he come out and said, "Yeah, mate, that's more than my ticket down here for Man United." Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Anyway, Celtic give us a lot more than that just to talk about. They give us the fact that we spoke about it. When did we speak about it? Was it the 23rd of April? We did a video and I said, "On the move" was the thumbnail. The Green Brigade are now going to have the boys relocate in beside them on the top half of the North Curve Celtic. What do you think about that? Is it a good idea? Is it will it make the atmosphere at Celtic Park better, or will it? We know what it will do. It will hopefully stop more of the migration between the two areas. You can understand why Celtic have done it. Do you sit in the top half of 111, and have you had the letter to say that you are not going to be sitting in the top half of section 111? And how do you feel about it? If you're on the channel this morning, drop us a comment, tell us how you're feeling about maybe getting moved out the section and you don't want to. You know, there is that to be. There'll be people that like standing in that top half of the standing section, and they've been told that you're not going to be able to go there anymore. You're going to get moved for the ultras that used to be in the irony of it. The boys used to be in that section many years ago. But anyway, we digress. And the club have reassured the fans that they will be guaranteed a season ticket next year. You just get moved over to the bit where the boys are, and you've got that big metal thing inside it, and you'll be closer to the board. Oh, the love bombs that were dropped yesterday. So yeah, the club has asked fans to contact them if they wish to be relocated within a family, relocated with family and friends, or if they have a specific stand or area that they might like to go to. The message concluded, "Thank you to the fans for their fantastic support. We hope to welcome them back to Celtic Park next season." So it is always an interesting one. I think the next thing that we need to talk about, yes, Pedro, they had a wee fallout with the Green Brigade. Hope they get on better now. It wasn't so much a fallout, mate. It was they wouldn't do what they were told, as when they were called the SMV, Street Mile Vandals, kicking it out. But yeah, it's they wouldn't do what they're told, and they would let off pyro and stuff. So they were ejected from the section. Said yesterday bad. They said something about being Celtic staff area. Didn't understand that myself. Yes, that Gav boy, that area historically has always been an area where people that work for Celtic, when you work for Celtic, you get a season ticket, and that area to what when you look up where the ultras used to be in the olden days, when it had the little bit up the top, the part to the left hand side, as you look up to it, it would have been on the Green Brigade's right hand side. Historically, that was always Celtic staff, people that work for Celtic that sat in that area. Some of them are still in the standing section because they bear. Anyway, Chilwell says, feel sorry if the fans been moved because the boys were isn't good. Has restricted views. Green Brigade and boys in 1-1 can be a good thing. I think it could be a good thing. But will it make the Celtic end? Will it make the Celtic end like a morgue? Will it have the will it have an adverse effect on that end of the stadium? Now, when you sit behind the goals at that end of the stadium, it's quiet. It is quiet. I remember going round from 1-1 to sit at the second half of a game, and having been in 1-1 the first half and then walked round, and I was like, mate was like, come round and have a seat next to me. There's a seat free, just pay a blather. We're catching up with some things. And I was sitting and I was like, fuck, it's quite. We were whispering. We were literally whispering to each other behind the goals in the Celtic end. I'm like, mate, this is bonkers. This is proper weird sitting over here. You know, after spending all my days at that end of the ground where it was quite boisterous, to say the least. When you go behind the Celtic goals and there's no ultras at that side and you're sitting going, fuck me, you're scared to talk, aren't you? Anyway, I want to know what Rangers are going to do. Make sure there are no onions get tickets. Who cares about them, mate? Who cares? Don't care about them. Jim Lister's in the house this morning. Good morning to everyone that is in the chat this morning. Now, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. Kasper Schmeichel. Oh, he's not an elephant. He's just an overweight goalkeeper. An overweight goalkeeper that who had and has been carrying an injury for a long time. The goalkeeper admitted, though, that he did an interview with Celtic TV, didn't he? Of course he did. He came up to say his goodbyes to Martin O'Neill and stuff. And when Celtic are just so out of touch, aren't they? When you go into the comments and on social media, especially on Twitter and Instagram and a bit of Facebook, he gets a little bit more love on YouTube. But when you go into some of the comments, oh my days, man. Talk about taking a pounding. The club taking a pounding in the comment section for interviewing Kasper Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel taking a pounding. Kasper Schmeichel taking a pounding because, well, when Celtic were at Hampden, he wasn't. And you've got to say, the fans have got a point. I'm not trying to hang off fans against Kasper Schmeichel, but the fans have a point. We were at Hampden. He's swanning about down south, holding his old mate of a trophy. Go and stick it up your jacksy, mate. I'll just put that one. Pat, I'll put that one on the screen and we'll just leave it there for a little while. But yeah, I mean, Kasper Schmeichel coming in, he says, look, I just had to take myself away, regroup, spend some time with my wife and kids. So yeah, trying to get used to reality. Mate, you were on telly and stuff. Come on, don't. We get it. You've got an injury. You're going. You didn't bring your family up. Neither did Joe Hart. This thing. Celtic need to get away from this type of thing. Celtic need to get away from players that are not bringing their family. If you're not all in at Celtic, don't bother. Sorry, mate. If even if it's a 2-year contract, if you're not bringing your kids and your family and you're going to embrace the lifestyle, if you're wanting to get extra time off, Celtic need to move away for that. It's been a mad couple of days, and it all started off with their esteemed stand-in chairman saying that everything's okay and there's a big love fest. We knew that the season ticket renewal was about to drop when he come out with the love bomb video the night before. We absolutely knew it. Um, but the Kasper Schmeichel interview was just taken. It was like a lot of people were saying, Celtic, read the bloody room. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're not acknowledging what he did. I mean, Kasper Schmeichel went on American television and told the world before he told Martin O'Neill, before he told, and Martin O'Neill tried to cover it by saying, "Yeah, I think some of the medic folk knew he was going away to get another scan." He was lying to us, absolutely lying. But anyway, he wasn't a lion, he was an elephant. I lost all respect for Kasper after that interview. I think a lot of people did. Do you know, I mean, we were criticising him. I mean, let's talk about the season. Go back to last season with Kasper Schmeichel. He carries an injury towards the end of last season. He's out. He comes back for the Scottish Cup final. I think he cost us the Scottish Cup final last year. I think that it was harsh on Sinisalo being dropped for that final. And you've got to say, Celtic didn't play well. Aberdeen played better. But, do you know, we lost out on a game. It is what it is. When you look at this season, we all knew when you see Kasper trying to dive to his left and he's like this and he tries to catch it with his right hand, come on, mate. We're all sitting going, he's got an injury and he's not telling us. He can't dive to his left. There's something wrong. And this went on for months and it cost us in some big games. But you've got to say, and I don't mean this in a harsh way before anybody says anything, but I think that's karma. He knew he had an injury. He's now saying, I might need another 3 or 4 operations. See if you had admitted right at the beginning, you maybe have got keyhole surgery a year ago. And that keyhole surgery might have sorted it and, you might have been back playing by now. That's all that I'm saying, Kasper. The fact that you've had a lot of infection, you say, you're determined to fight back. It's a really strange situation. You've been consulting some of the world's leading shoulder specialists to find a way back onto the pitch. You found a surgeon in Manchester. You're going about needing possibly 3 other operations due to inflammation, due to infection. That's because you didn't left it too long, mate. I've no sympathy for you for that. You should have got it sorted at the time. You should have just went, look, my shoulder's done. I'm not taking any risks. But you took the risk. And with the risk, and you've got to say, when you take risks, everybody takes risks in life. But sometimes you have to sit down and do a bit of a risk assessment. And, you cost Celtic, you've cost yourself an absolute legendary status at Celtic Park. Remember when you first came to Celtic, in the first half of the first season, you were clean sheet Kasper. I think that you've tainted your reputation with a lot of Celtic fans. There'll be a lot of Celtic fans that say, look, you're talking pish, he was a fantastic player for us. Yes, but you've got to point out the obvious, and the obvious was the elephant in the room, which was Kasper Schmeichel, that lied to Celtic. Anyway, that's enough of Kasper Schmeichel this morning. Kasper is not one of us, just takes the money and does what he wants, says Peter King. Jasper, should Celtic FC and fans no respect, so you can do one as far as I am concerned, said Simon Ireland. So far as Kasper is concerned, he is only playing his own tunes for Celtic paid pipes. Is there something going on that I don't know about? I bypassed when I saw the name Kasper. Kasper, turns out he ain't no Joe Hart. This is very true, and Joe Hart even though Joe Hart was only at Celtic a short time, he will go down as a legendary Celt because he gets us. And there's one thing for sure, that Kasper Schmeichel, unfortunately, will not be remembered with such fondness by the Celtic fans. Woke up 3 mornings in a row. Phone was at 67%. I'm now convinced we're winning the league. Should get an operation for a zip fitted. The song won't be sung anymore. What, Casper, you're an elephant. Every morning I look at the clock and it always happens to be 9/11. Celtic, 1961. Spooky. What? What are you talking about? What are you doing? These are a bunch of freaks. Honestly. Anyway, Casper thinks he's bigger than Celtic, says Helen. Right, that's us moving on from Kasper Schmeichel because Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill giving us a little bit of an update injury on certain players. Tam the Czech has checked out of Celtic Park for the last time. Tam the Czech has an injury. Tam the Czech has an injury. He has a groin strain that may need an operation. What is going on at Celtic this year? I mean, I don't think that... I mean, did he do it on the pitch? I don't think I've seen Tam the Czech running fast enough to get a groin injury. Anyway. It's an interesting one that Tam the Czech is out. It looks like that his career from a Celtic perspective is over. I don't even think that the poor lad, if he do win the league, I don't think he'll get a winner's medal. But anyway, he's done. He's done his. Tam the Czech has departed. Did you just make yourself a coffee? Hello? Did you just make yourself a coffee? See, honest to God, man, can't I get the staff these days? Anyway, Martin O'Neill refuses to rock out, rule out an early comeback for Cameron Carter-Vickers. Cameron Carter-Vickers is back in training. The what is he, 28, has made, what has he made, 11, 12, 13 appearances, something this season, at the beginning of the season. Cameron Carter-Vickers had a really bad injury that's kept him out for the majority of the season. Because he's back on the pitch, there's people trying to say that he'll be back. Look, Cameron Carter-Vickers, we were told that Cameron Carter-Vickers would not be back this season. Trying to rush Cameron Carter-Vickers back early, I think that that's the wrong thing. We did it with Alistair Johnson, and Alistair Johnson was put back months. I think that Cameron Carter-Vickers is a player that we need for the start of the season. Now, I can understand people will say that he's going to try and get fit for the World Cup. Are the United States in that bad a way that they're going to pick a player for the World Cup that hasn't played any football the majority of the season and that's been out injured? Surely you want to play a player that's... I mean, the whole talk of up to match fitness and everything. Cameron Carter-Vickers... Oh, just reading some of the comments. You're getting slated online. I'm joking, you're not. Before you go on and comment and tell them what to shut the up. She does care about me. She will. She'll give me, mate. She'll give me more than a groin injury. Trust me. She'll throat punch me. Anyway, Cameron Carter-Vickers is boiling this morning, isn't it? Cameron Carter-Vickers, he is a player that the Americans, he's been out since October last year. It's a long time to be out for a football player with an Achilles injury. Will he be ready for the World Cup? Some people are talking about it online. Look, as far as I'm concerned, Cameron Carter-Vickers, from a Celtic perspective, we were all told that he will not be back fit until pre-season. Let's just keep it that way, Celtic. Let's not rush the player back. Let's not give him any aspirations that are above his timeline of. Do you know, we've not had a full season out of Cameron Carter-Vickers, and I know it's the biggest competition in the world. Baz is going to be out for the season at this rate. Come in on. So it's not only me that gets throat punched. Oh, I see. It's a thing, isn't it? It's a thing. We all got throat punched by the missus. See, that's a woman thing then. But anyway, Cameron Carter-Vickers, should he be rushed back, or should Celtic just say no, mate? And look what happened to Alistair Johnston when he buggered off to Canada for some training sessions. He got injured and it put him back an extra couple of weeks. If Tam, the Czech, is out injured and away for an operation, we're a player down, we don't need Cameron Carter-Vickers to come back in defence just yet. Remember, Larson got 20 minutes to get to Euros 2000 at the end of that season. You've got a memory like an elephant. There's the police down their sweep of the coastline in their helicopter. Hopefully that's not coming over. That's low. Saturday morning sweep of the coastline, looking for the boats. Jeez, that is low, isn't it? Mate, they're going to be further out. Anyway, Cameron Carter-Vickers, can't rush Cameron Carter-Vickers back. Whatever will be this season, get him ready for the start of next season. CZV out for a year. Yeah, he was out for the whole of the season, and even if our players only go to the World Cup as cover, it's good for us as their fitness levels will build up gradually. But if they go to the World Cup, right? If Cameron Carter-Vickers does go to the World Cup, and say the United States manage somehow to get to the later stages of the World Cup due to match fixing by Donald Trump and his reprobates, the most craziest man ever be in power in America, it puts big pressure on Celtic. Celtic will have to go out, and when we look at the squad now, I mean, the squad is going to be absolutely decimated. The time that we come back, when you look at the team, I mean, as it stands, Celtic are looking for a new goalkeeper. Will they bring in a first choice goalkeeper, or will they keep Sinisalo? Ross Dohan is the number one. Sinisalo's quite young, so they might bring in an older goalkeeper. You don't know, it's Celtic. When you look at the players that will be at the World Cup, Alistair Johnston, Austin Trusty, Kieran Tierney, Tony Ralston. That's 4 players out of the defence that will be at the World Cup. So I suggest they're not going to be back at training, first week of training. And the reason that I'm speaking about that, because every manager that we've had over the last number of years speaks about players having a good pre-season. Transfer windows have went wrong. Managers have complained because a player didn't have pre-season with Celtic. Brendan Rodgers always spoke about the benefit of getting players in early. Celtic, nah, we're not trusting you, mate. We're going to get them in at the end of the transfer window. Ange Postecoglou said, I want to get my players in the winter window so that they get 6 months settling in period, and then the time that you get to pre-season, they've got their mind in the right place so that they get a good pre-season, and then you crack on from there as a player. We're going out to get a new manager. We're going to have to bring in a defender because we will lose Benjamin Arthur. We have lost Julian Araujo. Two players that we'll need to replace. You might. There's talk about bringing Sriracha back, but Sriracha wants more game time. Could be the fact that we're 3 players down in the defence, so you're going to start back pre-season training with Liam Scales, Dane Murray, and Colby Donovan in your back line. That's it. First day of pre-season. That's the 3 that rock up for the defenders at Celtic. Martin O'Neill also speaking about Paulo Bernardo, and he says that Paulo Bernardo has been really unlucky under him at Celtic. It's not just him; it's been Brendan Rodgers and as well. But he says that Paulo Bernardo has been unlucky, and he may thrive under the next manager. He says that Paulo, there she is, that happy face. There we go. There's the hand of God. There we go. Oh, I'm going to die today. This is the last day that we do this. It's been nice knowing you, and was it worth it for a cup of coffee? Oh, it's a good cup of coffee. She does make better coffee than me. We have had this conversation. Don't know how she does that, but she does. Anyway, Paulo Bernardo. Martin O'Neill says that Paulo Bernardo's been unlucky. He plays in his better position is the holding midfield role, and that's currently owned by Callum McGregor. Martin O'Neill then said he's been unlucky because we brought in Oxlade-Chamberlain. What does that say for Paulo Bernardo then, if Martin O'Neill says he's been unlucky? Because we only brought Oxlade-Chamberlain in on loan. Paulo Bernardo hasn't been injured. Martin O'Neill then went on to say that Paulo Bernardo and Mikael Ange Balak-Wisha may fare a bit better next season under a new manager. Martin O'Neill will not be the manager next season. I've just noticed that the desk is quite low down. There we go, so I could sit up straight. So Martin O'Neill will not be the manager next season. The fact that he came out and said that those players have been unlucky. Have they been unlucky? The desk is too high now. Have they been unlucky, or are they just not good enough for Celtic? They are 2 players that they'll be back first day of pre-season in the summer, and it's going to be interesting. Does no one find it funny that 2 players who misbehaved after the Rangers game are the same 2 players who got injuries off the pitch that no one saw and vanished after the game? Michelle, are you saying that Martin O'Neill is some kind of hitman? Martin O'Neill's sitting up on the roof of Lennoxtown with his sniper rifle. Gets his bonnet round like he's in the and he's taking pot shots at players. You'll not play for me again, son. Aye. Especially when they're not even our players. Trump looks like the man that you've been tangled. Yes, he is. Let me just jump through some of these comments before Bernardo turns into James McCarthy. Yeah. Be honest, Bernardo is a dud. Been say for years we need 2 strong defenders and 2 strong midfielders. We are weak in these positions. Yeah, I think so. No thanks, Peter. Aye. Anyway, give me tea any day of the week. Lol, says Jim. And you got to have a coffee first thing in the morning. Proper Spanish coffee. Anyway, right, getting back to the point of the video. Where were we? We were talking about Paulo Bernardo and a certain player, Mikael Ange Balak-Wisha, that Celtic chased for 2 years. When you look at the squad now, you're starting to realise how big the summer is going to be. When we look, put me over here at the road. When you look at the front players, we've given James Forrest a new contract. Dyson Maeda will leave Celtic this summer. Joe Mavuka will leave Celtic this summer. Kelechi Iheanacho, who knows? Tenecte, if we get an offer for him, take it all day long. Tom the Czech will definitely leave Celtic. Junior Adamu will definitely leave Celtic this summer. That's 4 players minimum from the forward area that will depart from the squad. Rio Hatate will leave Celtic this summer. If he's kept on, the weirdest things that have ever happened. Arne Engels, there's a big possibility that he will leave Celtic this summer after being subject to a £20 million transfer request. Callum McGregor, there's big question marks over him. And then there's Benji Negrin, there's talking about him. That is, 8 players just to that point. And then when you look at the defence, 8. We're sitting at 8, remember. Benjamin Arthur will leave, 9. Julian Araujo has left, that's 10. 10 players from the first team to leave Celtic in the summer. That's absolutely massive. And then add into the mix, you've got Hiteo Namura. Get rid of him, he's not good enough. That's 11. Odomom, he's out. He's gone. Lewis Palmer, Jesus. Shin Yamada, Stephen Welsh, get him out. And some people have said just like Johnny Kenny go. You're hitting around about 15 players. That's bigger than the rebuild that that Ange had. We need to get the summer. We need to get the summer absolutely right. We need to get the manager. You know, Celtic are now trying to get you to spend 750 quid. Well, our seats are 750 quid. And that's just to the as you look at the set, that's in what, 110, the bottom half. No, it's 109 the seats, I think. I can't even remember. 109 that the seats are in. And it's a lot of money to be paying out when we don't know what we're getting offered. Football fans blindly follow the club. Blindly follow the club. Give money to the club in big numbers. Danny says, I'm sorry, but I think we've saw the last of Jota. Nah, not a chance. He'll come back better. Realistically, who are we going to keep next season? I would really keep Sinisalo, CCV, Trusty Scales, KT, Alistair Johnson, Jota, Osmond. The rest, who knows? Kalmak, Benji, Tenecte, Engels could all be away. The rest can go. Well, I think that the only one in the defence that will have a question mark over him will be Tony Ralston. Colby Donovan, you know, he'll be at Celtic. I think that he'll come good. I think it's a bit much saying that Colby Donovan is not going to be a good player. I've made the step up. Dane Murray. You need players like Dane Murray in the squad to make up the Scottish players' numbers. We've spoke about this before, but we will wait and see. Anyway, talking more about the injury situation. Obviously, Cameron Carter-Vickers is back, having been out since October, back in training on the grass. He's not back up and running. Behind the scene, medical staff are urging caution when it comes to Cameron Carter-Vickers, as he's kind of keeping one eye, allegedly, I don't believe it, it's all media talk, on the World Cup. I don't think that he'll be thinking about the World Cup at all. Alistair Johnston's back after 6 odd months out. He made a brief appearance last week. How much will he get this week? I think he'll maybe get about 60 minutes. Callum Osmond is back, despite being, he played a couple of games with the B team, but I'm not too sure if, well, Martin O'Neill's going to have to try and bring in Osmond, isn't he? Because if Tam the Czech is not fit, he's gone. It leaves us in the striking department of Kelechi Iheanacho and Dyson Maeda. So Osmond really needs to get in somewhere, doesn't he? He needs to get some game time because we're absolutely we're back to the situation that we were at the beginning of the season, which is unbelievable when you look at it that way. Let me just do something a second. Is it a worry? Is it a worry? Going into the remaining games of the season, important games, all must-win games, and we don't have a really prolific goal scorer. Anyway, right, that is me done and dusted for this morning. 35 minutes this morning. It is Saturday. There are games on today in the SPFL, and Celtic do play tomorrow. When you look at the SPFL table, Celtic are still within the fight, still in the fight. Celtic are sitting in second position on 70 points, goal difference of 26. Hearts are sitting on 73. Celtic can get a jump start tomorrow. They're not going to go top of the league. That's the sad reality of the situation. We can get the win. We can put pressure on Hearts, but we won't go top of the league because of goal difference. And we need to score a barrel load of goals. Can we score a barrel load of goals against Hibernian? I'm not too sure. When you look at the fixtures, today we have Dundee versus St Mirren, Falkirk versus Motherwell, Kilmarnock versus Dundee United. I will jump on just towards the end of full time so we could talk about those results. Tomorrow we have Hibernian versus Celtic, and then on a Monday evening madness, a 5:30 kickoff on a Monday evening. What possibly could go wrong with that? Everything, I hope. Everything. I hope it's a complete riot in Edinburgh. And I mean that in the best possible terms. I hope it's complete madness and the game descends into tyranny. And should we do a watch along on another channel for that? Just for I don't know. Doing a watch along tomorrow. Yes, I will be doing a watch along tomorrow. It is an early kickoff. It is a 12 o'clock kickoff, Celtic Park time. 1 o'clock Central European time, and whatever time that you get up to watch it, wherever you are around the world. So yeah, I will be doing a watch along tomorrow. It'll be a busy day tomorrow. So let's just hope that Celtic can get the right result from a Celtic perspective, and let's hope that the game ends in a stale draw. A 0-0 draw, I think, would be better for Celtic. Let's us get, yeah, it would put Hearts 1 point ahead of us. But yeah, that would do it. And then we go on to the following Saturday, the 9th of May, Aberdeen versus Dundee United, Dundee versus Livingston, Falkirk Hibernian. That'll be a tidy game because Falkirk aren't giving up the fight lightly, are they? St Mirren versus Kilmarnock, Motherwell versus Hearts. Now that's the big one. Can Hearts go to Motherwell and get a result? It's not an easy place to go to. Celtic always have to go there also. And then onto the Sunday, the big one, Celtic versus the Rangers. Sevco, somebody called them. And then we have the games on the Tuesday, which is Aberdeen versus St Mirren, Dundee United versus Livingston, Kilmarnock versus Dundee. Celtic play the Wednesday with the rest of the top six. Hearts versus Falkirk, Motherwell versus Celtic, Rangers versus Hibernian. Oh, that is going to be one of the biggest nights in Scottish football that night. And it's crazy that it's all coming down to pretty much the second last game of the season. Don't know, that's where it will start to get an inclination on who or whom will be champions at the end of May. And then we go on to Saturday the 16th, the big one, the final, the last game of the season. What's the news on Tam the Czech? He's out. Wilson, he's out. He's gone. He needs an operation. Anyway, and then it comes down to the last game of the season on the 16th of May 2026. Celtic versus Hearts. Will Celtic still be within the shout, or will Hearts be 3 points clear at the top of the table, and it will be pretty much an irrelevant game no matter what happens? Celtic could beat Hearts comfortably if Hearts are still away in front by an absolute country mile when it comes to goal. When it comes to goal difference, let's hope they're not. Let's hope that we're hoping that somebody else takes points off them before we get to them. It would have been good if Celtic had met them earlier on in the final remaining games, but it's not to be. If Hearts win all their games up to the last game of the season, Celtic win all their games up to the last game of the season. Unfortunately, due to the massive goal difference, which I'm having nightmares about, because I go back to Martin O'Neill's time, I go back to December, where we were losing games, going back to Martin O'Neill's time when he was here the first time round, suggesting that we needed to get goals on the board because we were lacking behind then. I couldn't see anything changing. We're on a goal difference of 26. Hearts are on a goal difference of 31. We would need to completely annihilate Hearts on the last day of the season. It has been done before. Celtic have went to the last game of the season and outperformed Hearts. Do Hearts have the bottle for it? Or will Celtic just not be good enough? And then you've got to take your hats off to Hearts. Hopefully not. Hopefully Celtic can get it done. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this morning. Thank you to everyone who has watched the videos this morning. It's been a little bit quiet for a Saturday morning, but it's all fine and good. I shall see you in the next video. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.